Hello, I'm Erin Palmer, Team Rayceen Productions co-host and moderator.
And I'm Rebekah Laur'en, Team Rayceen Productions co-host and moderator.
Joining us is Anna. Hi, Anna.
Hey, y'all, what's going on?
It's a good day, especially to have you here today. So, Anna, before we talk about your radio station, podcasts, and other projects that I know you've been working on, please tell the viewers a little about your background and who you are.
For sure, I'll give y'all the quick elevator pitch. I am Anna DeShawn, pronouns anything respectful is great. I am a Chicago-born social entrepreneur who builds streaming media platforms that celebrate and center BIPOC and QTPOC creatives.
Good stuff. Clearly outside of the scope of anything that I know how to do, so I can't wait to dive into it. Please tell us about E3 Radio, including how it started and how people can listen.
100%. E3 Radio was born out of a campaign I did in undergrad where I campaigned to be student activities board president at my university, Drake University. And I did the platform on being educational, enlightenment, and empowerment on campus. That was my 3 E's for the campaign. I didn't win. I got into a runoff though. It was close, okay, which is pretty good considering I wasn't Greek. I'm still not Greek. And I just couldn't let go of this idea that there were stories I wanted to tell. There were Black women I was learning about that I didn't feel like their stories were being amplified enough. And I was studying radio, television production, and I just thought it would be a wonderful way to tell our stories. It started as a college radio network. It started with creating PSAs. I quickly transitioned that to just being an online radio station in general. And it's been an amazing ride. Today, we play queer music all day long on the station at e3radio.fm. And I've taken those 3 E's and turned them into being educational still, but also being entertaining while also being enlightening. So all the content we create out of E3 Radio has one or all 3 of those E's in it because that's what we value. And Queer News is a wonderful example of that. That's a podcast coming out of the radio station where we report on 3-4 queer news stories every single week. And during the summertime, we're doing this really dope summer interview series right now. And so I'm excited about all of it.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. Y'all got a lot going on and a lot of good things going on for sure. Why do you think it is important for queer music and queer news to have their own platform?
Because ain't nobody reporting about us. I mean, let's just keep it simple and keep it real, right? We all family here. I just don't think our stories are being amplified enough. And media moves at the speed of light. And, you know, what bleeds is what leads. That's the line. That's what the line in the newsrooms, right? And so they are only going to report on what's the top news story for that day. There isn't any follow-up. There isn't any, let me check in with them. You know, that is not how news is made today. And I think that when we talk about communities that are on the margins, communities that are underrepresented, we need that. I want to follow up about Brittany Griner, didn't you? I wanted to know what was happening on 118, not just on the day that she was released, right? And I think local and independent media give us the opportunity to do that. And that's really at the heart of why I have never let the radio station go and why I'm committed to doing this work, because our stories deserve to be heard and followed up on, right? And checked in on all the time. And I have to center us. It gives me the opportunity to do that.
That's awesome, Anna. You give some really good points. In the sense of also representation of music, how is music selected?
Man, if it's good, okay. So I'm being honest, I don't listen to it, okay. It's not my job. I got some wonderful people on the team that listen to the music that gets sent into the station, someone who programs it, right, someone who reach out to artists. And for so many years, I mean, we started the station in 2009. Even today it's true, but independent artists have a way to make a living today. In 2009, it just wasn't the case. They wanted you to conform to look like however they wanted you to look. And we already know that don't fit for us. So many artists could not find a way who were making really great music. And I wanted to create a platform where we centered them. And actually just recently we cleared out all the straights from the station. And so now we're for real queer all day long. And I love it, you know?
I like clearing out the straights. I feel like we should do more of that.
It need to be a t-shirt, right? Yeah.
It really does, actually.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about the Qube? What is the Qube?
100%. The Qube was born out of E3 Radio. So there just came a moment where we are thinking and strategizing on how we continue to stay relevant in this space as the world becomes more of an on-demand, we're in the on-demand era. Okay. Nobody doing nothing at the time that it comes on, everybody grocery shopping and hitting save. Right. And radio has fallen plague to this because if you miss a DJ, you miss a DJ. And being online, I just knew that we had to expand our work. I knew we had to get into the mobile app space so that people could have us in their pocket on the go, make it easier for folks to listen. And in those conversations, we started talking about podcasting and how we couldn't find podcasts by Black folks that we wanted to listen to, by Black queer folks we wanted to listen to that weren't like brown queer stories. Like, where are our stories and where are our podcasts? And in those conversations, we just decided to create our own. And the name, the Qube, actually comes from E3 Radio. So mathematically, and this came to me in the shower. So just go with me on the journey. Okay. So if you mathematically E3, E to the power of 3 is to cube it. And I was like, oh, we could just turn that C into a Q and make it hella queer. And so literally the Qube was born out of E3 Radio and our work with the radio station. It is a podcast production company producing content at the intersections of race and sexuality. And it's also a hub where you can discover some of the very best BIPOC and queer trans people of color podcasts all in one spot. We're curating them. We're live right now. You can discover 60 pods I'm sure you could never have found anywhere else. And they're producing amazing content.
That's awesome. Well, as we're on the topic of the Qube, I understand that the Qube has a tour coming up. So tell us a little bit about the Qube tour.
Absolutely. We are on tour right now. You saw on the other slide our podcast that we're also creating at the Qube called Qube Originals. As a business person, I was also very clear we needed to own our own intellectual property as we're not owning anyone else's content. And so our Qube Originals are that for us. And I wanted to take our work on the road. We're in this moment where money is tight for a whole bunch of folks. It's tight for me too. Okay, but I'm trying to grow a business. I think we've got something really amazing here. And I knew I needed to take it to the people. So our Qube tour is using silent headphones as a medium to share audio and our audio with those who want to come out and hear what we're about. So we're playing podcast trailers from our pods and pods in our network and pods associated to our partners, and sharing these beautiful stories in hopes that people will go listen, go learn, enjoy some different audio content that was built by and for them. So our podcasts are Queer News is on the road with us. Black HIV in the South is on the road with us. Polyam Chats, Polyam Chats. Okay, that's the thing. We also have a WNBA podcast called Rebound Revolution in collab with Edit Audio, which is a woman and lesbian-owned podcast studio. I mean, we got some new stuff coming out. We also have a podcast called Second Sunday about being Black and queer in the Black Christian church. So all these things are on the road with us right now. And my hope is that as we hit all of these different verticals, that we hit on interests that we care about and that people will want to tap into. And it's exciting. We were in New York. Our first stops were in Brooklyn, and then we went to Manhattan. I just got back from DC. We had our stop in Maryland. And next up is Denver, Minneapolis, Atlanta, and Baltimore. So it's exciting.
Y'all are busy.
Yeah.
I am.
What are you listening to right now? What's the last thing you listened to?
The last thing I listened to. That's a great question. Tape from my own podcast. It's so hard for me to listen to stuff that I enjoy. But there's an audio drama called Unleashed. Go ahead. Unleashed. It is good. I love a good audio drama. If you think about being like in the 1950s and sitting around a radio player, that's what an audio drama is. And if you like Real Housewives or any of them other dramas that's on TV, I promise you can get into a good audio drama. So Unleashed is the last thing I listened to. But I will also say you should check out, there's so many, Past Due. You should check out Bronzeville, and you should probably check out Harlem Queen and 1972. And 1972 in particular, for me, is really special. Two of my favorite people are featured in that. So the sister Yanni Washington wrote this audio drama, and it parallels the life of Angela Davis and Shirley Chisholm in 1972. So in 1972, Angela Davis was under trial, right? In jail. All these things were happening. But at the same time, in 1972, Shirley Chisholm was running for president, right?
Yeah,
in the same year.
That is crazy, actually. Yeah, you're right.
It's so dope.
Yeah.
And we don't learn history in this parallel way. We learn one thing and then we hear another thing, but don't understand that it was all happening at the same time. And so she does a beautiful job of storytelling this history where you feel like it's so interconnected as it was in 1972. So check it out.
I'm gonna check that out. Definitely.
Yeah. I promise you're gonna love it. Okay.
There seems to be so much content to take a look at. Can you tell our viewers how they can stay in touch with you, stay in touch with what you're working on, listen and hear more?
100%. So you can go to our website today, theqube.app, TheQube.app. And we have a beautiful catalog where you can go visit and discover your next favorite podcast. Okay. I promise you will. And then you can also follow us on social media. We're most active on Instagram. We got things in other places, but we are most active on Instagram. So the Qube app at E3 Radio, that you can follow me at Anna DeShawn across all socials. And on Instagram is the Anna DeShawn. You'll find me, but I got hacked. It's a long story, but find me, you'll find me.
All right. Well, thank you, Anna, so much. Viewers, please look in the description below for links. And again, Anna, thank you for coming and sharing and talking with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Definitely.
To those watching, please follow Team Rayceen on social media and subscribe to the Team Rayceen YouTube channel.
And viewers, thank you for watching.